You believe this today. You are braver than you think you are. You are stronger than you think you are. And you are way smarter than you give yourself credit for. Seriously, you really are. It's a new week. It's a new day. It's a new beginning. It's a fresh start. Make it such. Make this fresh start the beginning of a new great week. Maybe the beginning of your new great life. Whatever it is, do what's right for your body, as the bottom of our screen says. Don't hurt. Something hurts, back out of it. Don't do it. Just say, forget it. It's not for me. If it doesn't feel comfortable, well, that's another story. Maybe you can breathe through it, and maybe those levels of discomfort, you'll pass through those thresholds, and you will be more flexible and more fit and more mobile. And that's what our practice today is, mobility and flexibility. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. You're doing it your way. Your way, whatever feels right for you. You're not worrying about what other people are thinking. Don't do that, because you're smarter than that. You're doing things your way, doing what feels good for your body, not experiencing any pain. Every day we practice live, start to finish, 1 hour long. If you can only stick around for 10 minutes, that's fine, but try to do what you can with what you got. Every day our practices are different. You know, every day your body's different too, right? You can do all of the practices, but because you modify them. You modify them to make them work for you, the one and only you. Do what you can with what you got, let all the rest go. Today's focus is a bit on the hips. So if your hips are tight, and you know they are, you just don't know it maybe because you're compensating for them, but your hips are tight. Focus on them. Okay, here's the word to think about as you practice today. The word is, here it is, center. All week we're talking about focusing and centering and coming back to the middle. That's what centering means. It means to focus on the middle, have a focal point from which all things radiate. You know, if things are right in your life, you just radiate, right? You just glow. All right, so that's the word, focus on your center. Props, your usual. Couple yoga blocks, a strap, your eye shade. Let's go. Come on, stand up. You can do this. Come on, maybe you got a chair nearby, maybe you got other props. It's up to you. One of the first things we always do is lock in a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. What's the stress? What's the stress? Think of the doctor's office, smiley face to frowny face. Lock that number in and you're gonna be amazed. It's gonna come on down. Strike a pose of confidence because you're brave, right? Feet a little wider than hip width distance apart. Hands to your hips, elbows back, and makes your chest lift. Elbows back, press into your hips. Take a deep breath in. And a deep sighing breath out. Let the shoulders come down. And really do breathe in through your nose. Refresh, and then exhale through your mouth audibly. Let it go. Nobody's around you. Nobody's listening. Breathing out helps alleviate the stress. All right, so start to rock on your feet any way you want. Just feel your toes into the ground. Feel the arch of your foot. Feel the ball of your foot. Feel your heel of your foot in the ground. Rock from side to side. Move your hips. Just find your comfortable foundation. You know, we always seek first to build a strong foundation. You know that. You build a house on a strong foundation or it falls. Your body, your foundation has to be strong. Your feet have to be strong. Come on up to the balls of your feet and hold here. Maybe have a chair nearby to hold on. Totally fine. And get your balance. Breathe. Back onto the heels. Maybe that feels good. Maybe lift the toes up and give them a wiggle. All right, settle into your feet. Think of the ground as giving your feet a foot massage. Breathe, settle in, take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out in honor of palm trees, which we have lots of here. Lift your arms up to an extended mountain pose, like the mountains we have in Colorado, and then interlace your fingers, send your palms up to the sky. A bend in the elbows might feel great, and just think of bending from side to side, like the beautiful palm trees we have here in Florida. All right, so you're bending side to side, swaying from side to side like a palm tree, moving your hips, getting sideways movement of your spine. We're gonna do a half crescent moon later. You know that one. And you're really gonna move your spine sideways. Let it feel good. Stretch it out. You're even stretching those muscles between your ribs. Don't think about those very often, do you? All right, let's come back to the midline of your body. Release your hands down to your backside like you're putting your hands in pockets of jeans. Push your belly forward, squeeze your elbows toward each other, look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet, or look up overhead to the ceiling. Breathe. Exhale, fold forward. As you fold forward, let your arms hang toward the earth. Decompress your back. All right, a big part of this is your head. Are you holding on to it? Yes, you are. I bet you're stressing out. Let your gaze go toward your knees. Let the crown of your head fall toward the earth. Feet are about, a couple fist widths distance apart. Put a bend in your knees. Let that feel good. You can put a lot of a bend or a little of a bend. Breathe. The big thing here is to let the crown of your head hang toward the earth. So tuck your chin towards your chest. Just shake it out a little bit. Think of your low back as decompressing. Your entire spine is decompressing with the help of gravity. That bowling ball head of yours, our heads weigh between 8 and 12 pounds. It's just going down, down, down toward the earth, allowing the neck to decompress. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Sweep your arms up. Stack your spine one vertebra at a time. Come on back up to your extended mountain pose. Breathe in. Soften the shoulders, breathe out. All right, let's do those arm circles. Arms down by your sides. Start to draw circles to the side of the room. Maybe you tee them out and the circles are smaller, but the goal here is to just kind of move your shoulders a little bit more. As the fingers go up, your knees are nice and straight. As your fingers come down, bend your knees to wake your knees up. All right, this gives me a chance to look at the screen and say hi to Liz, to Betty, to Diane, to Lori. I was thinking about you. you this weekend, Lori. Are you still weaving? Hi, Tyrone. Hi to Tammy. How are you all doing? Breathe. You don't have to go fast. You go at your pace. Breathe. You're opening up your chest. When the arms come up, you're really bending your knees and waking them up when the knees come down. Circle your arms in the opposite direction. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, we got a few little different poses today that I think will just feel really good. Fun way to start your week. All right, so you've done your arm circles, shoulders are awake. Come on back up to standing. Don't you feel better already? Put a smile on your face. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in. We'll do that big coat swing and a deep sighing breath out. Arms are heavy by your side. Sway, twist from one side to the other. Look over your shoulder. Arms are heavy and loose. That's a big part of it. Adjust your feet so you feel comfortable and solid standing here. Twist, look over your shoulder. It doesn't take a whole lot. It doesn't take a whole lot of movement. Just move a little bit every day. Move everything you got. Look over your shoulder a little bit more. Do you usually keep your eyes open? Well, then maybe try to close them. And see how that works for you. Can you keep your balance with your eyes closed? Just challenge yourself every day. All right, so that's your big coat swing. Slow the arms down. Let's do ragdoll pose with a little bit of a difference here. All right, so let's do classic ragdoll because everybody loves that. Feet are about hip-width distance apart. Hands to opposite elbow creases. Hinge forward. Little bend in the knees, I think feels good. Try it and see if you like it. Same thing, let your head hang heavy, chin toward your chest. Now create little halfway or little sideways number 8s, an infinity sign with your elbows. As you bring one elbow back toward one knee, then the other elbow back toward the other knee. Sigh it out, breathe it out. Don't sweat it. It doesn't matter how your pose looks. Right now, just focus on how it feels. What do you feel? I feel it up my hamstrings and in my low back. It feels really, really good. I feel like my low back is decompressing, which is exactly what this pose does. A little sway feels good, this way and that. Maybe you hold it on one side a little bit longer. Do the same on the other side. Just let it feel awesome. All right, here's the little bit of difference today. Think wide-legged forward fold. We do that often. Come back to stillness at the midline of your body. I'll talk you through so you don't have to crane your neck and look up. Release your fingers to your mat. Now walk your feet further apart. Maybe toe, heel, further apart. And then just hang out here for a little bit. All right, so your hands are on the ground. You're nice and solid here. Breathe in, release, breathe out. Maybe bring your head a little closer to the earth. If it feels good, work your feet a little farther apart. You don't have to be that far apart. You do what feels good in your inner thighs. Maybe your forearms come down to the ground. And then let's start to bend one knee while keeping one knee straight. Bend one knee, bringing it over the ankle. Then bend the other knee, bringing it over the ankle as the other leg straightens. So just back and forth. Maybe you're up a little higher. Maybe you're down a little lower. Just breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Don't forget that. That's important. Deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Maybe you hang out on one side a little bit. Then you hang out on the other side a little bit. Tailbone high to the sky. When you're ready, place your hands on your mat. Walk your feet into what's comfortable, and let's go right into a wide-legged child's pose, because you're already warmed up for that. So knees spread, big toes touch, hips back to your heels, arms reach to the top of your mat. Bring your head down to either your mat or use your block to bring the ground up to you and rest your head on it. And there's another option if you don't want to do it this way. You could have your knees together. Big toes are still touching. You can have your arms down by your sides if that feels better for your shoulders. You do your yoga your way. Take a deep breath in. And a big sighing breath out. As you breathe out, you sigh it out. Don't you feel like you can bring your tailbone a lot farther back towards your heels? That's kind of a nice feeling. It feels really good to decompress. If your hands are in the wide-legged child's pose and the arms are reaching long to the top of the mat, push your hands, wide-spread hands, into the mat. Push and slide the mat further forward as you sink your bottom back toward your heels.
Spine is long, spine is lengthening here. What a great pose. Knees are getting a good stretch, so are your ankles. Deep breath in. Big sign, breath out. Now, if you like, engage your Ujjayi pranayama breath. All that is closing your lips and doing most of your breathing in and out of your nose. This will allow you to build heat in your body and focus inward. Let the outside world go. It's just you and your breath. Really, when it comes down to it, it's the first thing you do in your life, and it's the last thing you do. So you got your breath. Honor it. Focus on it. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Child's pose. Come back to it anytime you want. Or maybe today your practice is speaking to you saying, I'm staying in this child's pose longer. Totally fine. I'll tell you where we're going next so you can make the decision. We're going to go from this child's pose into a toes pose. All right, back to the foundation. If you want, come on up out of your child's pose, tuck your toes under, have a seat on your heels. You could take your block and place it behind your bottom and hold on here. So maybe do have a seat on your block, because we're not gonna flow through toes pose, ankle pose. We'll do ankle pose, but we're gonna stay here for a little bit and do some other stuff. So maybe you're seated on your heels, maybe you're seated on a block, or maybe you've got a half-size block. All right. Hands can be on your thighs, shoulders back and down if you want. Hands can be at prayer center if you want. Lots of options. Options are good. You can bring your hands behind your low back and work your fingers toward opposite elbows. If you're doing that, your gaze is forward, your chest is open, shoulders are back, and shoulders are down. You can stay right here. Here's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna bring my arms around to the front. I'm gonna interlace my fingers like you do in palm tree. I'm gonna have one hand on top, one hand on the bottom, and I'm gonna do little sideways number 8s, little infinity signs, working my wrists here. All right, now as you work your wrists, your mind is off of your ankles, but now it's onto your ankles because I mentioned them. But try to get your head out of your toes, out of your ankles. But if it is painful, come out. Don't do it, because this does hurt some people really, really bad. And if it hurts, don't do it. Hinge forward maybe. Take the weight out of your toes. But if you can hang with it, stay with it. All right, do those infinity signs. Just work the wrists, really almost like 2 circles, right? Side by side. Really work your wrists. Let's finish up. Take your hands, arms forward like you're serving a tray. Remember, we did that on Friday with the weights. Oh my goodness. Now bend all 4 fingers of one hand back towards your elbow. Then bend the thumb back towards your elbow. Switch it to the other hand, all 4 fingers back. So you're getting your forearm stretch here. Bend your thumb back. The thumb always feels awkward to me. Then go back to the starting hand and start with bringing just each individual finger back. I'm going to go from pinky to ring finger to tall man to index finger to the thumb. Let them work individually. I'm ready to switch to the other hand, just pulling them back little by little. Mind is off of the feet, right? All right, let's go. All right, good job. Wiggle your fingers and let's come out of this toes pose. Remove your block. Neutral tabletop. Oh my goodness. Lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch your toes, spread them wide, and then circle your ankles one way, then the other. Then my favorite part, the drum roll. Tap out your feet. Tops of your feet on your mat. Now have a seat back on your heels. This time the tops of your feet are on your mat. You can use blocks if you want, or use your hands, or nothing at all. Just sit back on the tops of your feet. As you do this, let your knees come up and stretch the ankles in the opposite direction. I'm gonna bring my hands to prayer center today. You can have your hands wherever you want. Blocks, down on the ground. I'm gonna bring my hands to prayer center and then I'm gonna close my eyes. Maybe try this on for size. Breathe in, breathe out. Find your peace, find your balance. Keep your knees together. It's amazing how much your eyes really help with your balance, isn't it? Just try. And if you fall out, no big deal. Open your eyes for a second, reorient, and maybe close your eyes again. I'm gonna bring my hands down and open my eyes and take one more big stretch onto the tops of my feet. I'm almost on my toes and it feels really good. If it feels good, do it. If it doesn't, Don't. All right, let's come out of this. Whew, neutral tabletop, same thing. Lift your toes, squeeze and scrunch them. Circle the ankles. They'll appreciate that. And then tap your feet out on your mat. Good job. Let's go from this neutral tabletop. A neutral tabletop has your shoulders over your wrists, your knees under your hips, pushing into the earth, fingers spread wide, push into the earth. Almost feel like you can levitate here because you're really strong. Tailbone and crown of the head are going in opposite directions. Neutral tabletop. Let's do cat-cow. Tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky like a Halloween cat. Inhale, cow, crown of the head and tailbone lift. Do a few more cat-cows. It's important to marry this one to your breath. Exhale, cat, because you're trying to send your belly button to your spine. Inhale, cow. You don't even think about the neck here. The neck is getting a nice movement here, forward and back. The shoulders are getting nice protraction and retraction, pushing into the ground, and then sinking the chest toward the earth. And cow, breathe, cat-cow. Good movement of your spine. All right, neutral tabletop. Let's do cat pulling its tail now. Extend your right leg, push the ball of the right foot onto the ground. Push into the mat. Feel the nice tension up the back of your calf. Hold on here. Now cross the extended right leg over the left. Squeeze high in the upper inner thighs. Place your foot down. Look over your left shoulder and look back to your foot, your knee, your bottom. When you're ready, bring the right knee back to meet the left. When you're ready, left leg extends, ball of the foot plants, push into that foot, good and solid and strong. Lift the left leg, cross it over, look over the right shoulder. Look back to as far as you can look back. Maybe you look to your knee, maybe you look to your bottom. Nice sideways movement of the spine. Left knee meets right knee on your mat. Lift your right leg up, knee to about hip height. Draw the toes toward the shin. Weight is equally distributed in your hands. The tendency is perhaps to put more weight onto the left hand. Even it out. Lift that leg up good and high. Cat pulling its tail. Reach your left arm around. Come in the vicinity, in the neighborhood of that heel. Hold it here. Maybe you actually capture the foot, pushing hard into the earth, looking to the left side of your mat as you kick your foot into your hand. Cat pulling its tail. Breathe. Finish. Knee comes down. We can pull the tail on the other side. All right, let's try that one. Press into the earth. Lift the left leg up. Draw the toes toward the shin. Maybe staying right here feels really good. It does feel really good. If you decide to stay here, just maybe little pulses kicking your foot into your bottom. Take the right hand, reach around, capture the left foot or close to it. Kick into the hand as you feel the right front side of your pecs open up. Look to the right side of your room. Kick, pull. Oh, feels good, doesn't it? All right, let's finish. Knees come down, feet come down. Bird dog pose, a balancing pose. You could take a block and put it at the top of your mat for just kind of something to aim to if you want. From your neutral tabletop, let's take this in layers. Maybe you got a blanket or a towel underneath your knees. That might feel good. I'm going to lift the right leg up just like we did in cat. I'm going to extend the right leg long this time, dialing the right hip down so both hips are equidistant to the mat. For bird dog, now I'm going to lift my left arm. This is a balancing pose. Reach your left arm forward. Find length. Think of being really long and strong from your fingers of your left hand all the way through the heel of your right foot. Lengthen, push the earth away, maybe find that block to find some balance here. Hold it. If you like, left elbow to right knee underneath your belly button a few times. It's going to challenge your balance because you're changing your center of balance here. Breathe. Strong core. Lengthen to strengthen. Tuck and extend and then finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down, press into the earth. Just kind of reevaluate, recenter here. You got it. Left leg lifts, left leg extends, toes are in a flexion, right arm reaches. Hold it here. Even the top of the right foot, push it into the mat. It helps with your balance. Stretch, reach, lengthen. Find the block if you want. Elbow to knee, once or twice. Give it a go. Just try it. Try the lengthening. It is a balancing pose, and it is a bit of a challenge. You got it. Try it. You got to try it to become an expert. Stretch, reach, finish. Hand down, knee down. That was your bird dog pose. All right. Let's keep the blood flowing. Maybe grab a drink and let's get ready to do our 1 minute plank. We do a 1 minute plank in every practice except on restorative days. And in that 1 minute plank, a little timer's gonna come up. You time yourself if you want to. Maybe write it on a little chart on your refrigerator so you can see your progress. Or don't time yourself at all. Know that you got a minute here. You can take the plank in lots of different ways. Remember how we started in that child's pose, knees spread a little bit, maybe come down to your forearms, hinge the weight more forward and hold it here as you engage your core to stay strong. Maybe send your legs long, still on your knees, totally fine. Maybe tuck your toes under. Remember, your elbows are underneath your shoulders for stability. Push into your hands. Knees can be on the mat, or maybe you lift on up through straight legs and hold in a dolphin plank. I'm gonna do something a little different today. I'm gonna take a high plank, then I'm gonna take it to Spider-Man, all right? So maybe you wanna join me. Do whatever variation of plank speaks to you, but try to do something for about a minute and just see how it works for you. All right, I'm gonna come into a high plank. Dwayne, go ahead and set the timer, please. All right, so your body is long and straight, your core is engaged. Hold on here. Fingers spread wide, little suction cup like geckos in the hands. Feet are hip width distance apart, hands are pushing hard into the mat. You are strengthening and lengthening through your body. We're 15 seconds in. Hold it here in your high plank. If you want to join me in a Spider-Man, think Spider-Man. Bend your knee and bring it up towards your wrist or your elbow, then send it back. Same thing, other side. Knee to wrist or elbow, then send it back and alternate. We're halfway there. Breathe. You can do your Spider-Man. You can stay in your high plank. You can take little breaks periodically by lifting the hips high to the sky. Or you can also drop to your knees. 10 seconds to go. We got this. Breathe. Push the earth away. You can do anything. Yes, you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, you're braver, you're stronger, you're smarter than you think. Let's finish. Come on down. You did it. You did it. Whatever you did, I hope it was a bit of a challenge for you, because challenges are good for us, right? All right. Grab a drink. I challenged myself this weekend, and I went to a water aerobics class. That was fun, but it was hard. Those little styrofoam weights, they kick your bottom in the pool, but it was fun. All right, our usual 3 little poses with a little different twist on boat today. So, bend your knees, soles of your feet touch, Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Knees open wide, hands to prayer center, lengthen up, tell yourself something positive. When your hands come together, be thankful in prayer and think about something positive. Maybe you say, I'm brave, I'm strong, I'm smart, I got this. Lengthen up, come on back. Come on down, all the way down. Take it slowly because your core is strong and engaged, all the way down to reclined. Bring your heels up closer to your groin if that feels good. If not, adjust them to what does feel good. Fingers lightly to your temples, elbows open wide, maybe breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth as you sigh out tension. When you're ready, take an exhale and lift the shoulders up. Inhale, come on down. Little lifts, little lowers. Think about working the core here. Be mindful of what's going on. Feel the tightness, the strength, the control you have in your belly. Elbows open wide. Knees are open wide too. Little teeny lifts and lowers. Your head stays neutral as your chin is going up to the sky. Don't look down at your feet. Lift and lower, lower and lift. You got it. Let's come all the way down and let's do bicycle your way. All right, you could keep the soles of your feet down. Fingers are still at your temples. Lift on up as you exhale and little twists of the elbow or the torso, bringing one elbow toward the opposite knee, then the other side. Maybe that's what you like today. I'm gonna come down in the shoulders, knees over hips, shins parallel to the earth, toes drawn toward the shins. Rider recumbent bike, keeping the shoulders down. You can really feel your tailbone plugged in here. As you drive through your heels, one at a time, bend in one knee, drive through the other. Put it all together, placing the fingers at the temples. Keep pedaling and bring opposite knee toward opposite elbow. Whew. Breathe, breathe, breathe. There's your bicycle. All right, let's finish in bicycle. Take it to stick. Legs go long, toes together. Point your toes to the bottom of the mat. Ooh, I feel that in my hip flexors. Arms go up overhead. Point the fingers, palms touch, maybe thumbs overlap. Lengthen, exhale, soften. Boat pose variation. Let's press on up to our forearms. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. There we go. Legs long on your mat to begin. Press your hands into your mat. Drag your heels on up. Bring your knees towards your chest. Then extend your legs about 6 or 8 inches or 12 or whatever it is from the ground. Drag your heels on up towards your bottom and then extend your legs again. Find the sweet spot where it feels good for you to extend and draw up. You can really feel your tailbone here. When you draw them up, you feel the tailbone move. When you extend them, you feel the tailbone plant into the earth. Breathe. Extend your legs. Maybe press on up to straightened arms or no arms at all. Hands can be behind your knees. Sit back as if you were in a recliner. Hold on here. Maybe reach your hands towards your feet and hold. Adjust your arms. Where do you want them to be? Hold on. Maybe you like them behind the knees. Totally fine. Maybe a little bend in the knees feels good. There's your boat pose. You got it. Let's finish. Bring the feet down. Find your 2 blocks. Let's do a lunge. Your hip flexors will appreciate this. Come on to standing on your knees. Have your blocks on your mat to the outsides of your hips. Place your hands on your low back for a second. Squeeze your elbows back. Push your hips forward. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet or look overhead. Take your left hand. Place your left hand on your heel. Take a little twist. Right shoulder comes towards the camera. Arm goes high. Maybe arm reaches to the back of the room. Hold on to your heel. Way to bring your heel up is tuck your toes, like you do in toes pose, towards your shins. There's your heel. Reach, look up, enjoy this twist, or maybe reach to the back of the room. Arms go back up. Think extended mountain arms. Right arm drops to the right heel. Find the heel. You can do it. Look up to the left arm. Maybe reach the left arm back. Maybe twist and look over your right shoulder. Come on back up nice and slowly. Woo! Then come back. Shoulders over hips. Lift your arms up high. Take a baby back bend. Maybe you got your toes tucked. Breathe. Breathe. Finish. Come back. Hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in. Positive mantra. Brave, strong, smart. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands to your blocks. Now's the lunge. Bring the right foot forward, knee over ankle. These blocks help you slide the left leg back, long and straight. Top of the left foot is on the mat. Right knee over right ankle. Stay right here. Whew. If this feels good for you, staying right here is perfectly great. I'm gonna press on up, shoulders over my hips. Maybe you like that, maybe you don't. Go back to what speaks to you. Take it slowly and just challenge yourself a little bit more. As long as it doesn't hurt, give it a go. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's surf now. Hands back to the blocks. Surfing. All you gotta focus on is straightening that right knee and then rebending it. Use the blocks. Maybe they come back with you towards your hips as you maybe have a seat on your left heel. Walk the blocks forward as you rebend that right knee. So just bend it and straighten it. Don't worry about what's happening back there. Just do what you can with what you got. Now, maybe you're using the blocks. Maybe you've put a towel under your knee. Don't forget that. If it doesn't feel good, modify. Use your props. Maybe you have no blocks at all and you're surfing. Maybe your hands Come down to your mat, and you go forward. Totally fine. All right, let's finish. Come back to that starting position. Stay here for a moment. Knee over ankle, left leg. I'm going to readjust mine and send it really long again. I'm going to press up, shoulders over the hips. I did my surfing. Let's do something a little different. Remember interlaced fingers? Interlace them, lift the arms up, place it behind your skull. All right, so you're cradling your head. Drive the elbows back, back, back to the back of the room. Take little twists, and these are gonna be little twists to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. All right, little twists. Coming from your waist, little twists. Let's come back to the midline. Tee out your arms. Let's do twists again. To the right with the arms teed out, to the left. You can twist farther to the side, opposite the knee that's bent. Give it a go. All right, breathe, and then let's finish. Bring your hands back to your blocks. Time to switch it out in this long lunge. Good on you, knees meet. Left foot forward, left knee over left ankle. Press into your blocks, send that right leg super duper long. Put a towel under the knee if that is what you need. Listen to what your body needs and don't say, I can't do it. Yes, you can do it. You modify it and you can do it. You can do it to the level that's right for you. Maybe today it's 2% of the pose, but that is still doing it. Get that can't out of your vocabulary. All right, maybe arms lift, maybe baby back bend, maybe they don't lift at all, and you're holding on to these blocks, getting that nice stretch in the right hip flexor. I'm gonna start to surf. Left leg straightens and bends, using the blocks. If you want, come back as far or as little as you like. It's all good. Just find a little bit of movement. Maybe you come all the way back and have a seat on your heel. Maybe you come really far forward, really enjoying that stretch. Maybe hands, you use them. Maybe no hands at all. You decide. Maybe it's a combination. All good. Breathe. And when you're ready, are you ready? Nice movement in the knees. Maybe that pat under the knee feels really good. All right, we'll finish. It's all about the hip flexor here. Come back to your starting position. Have your knee over your ankle again. Interlace your fingers, bent elbows, interlace fingers behind your skull. Elbows open wide, breathe. Little twist to the right, little twist to the left, not a whole lot. Don't sweat it, it's all good. Push the back foot, the right foot, push the top of the foot into the mat. Helps you balance. Now let's come back to center, tee out your arms, and turn to the right. Woo, good and far to the right. Push your feet into the mat, and then turn to the left. Arms teed out, breathe. How you doing? It's all good, right? Push into that foundation. Stay strong. Use the ground to keep you stable. Press your feet into the ground. When you're ready, we'll come back to center. That's about even, wouldn't you say? Let's come back to center, hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in. And a deep shoulder softening breath out. Plant your hands inside and outside of that left front foot. Your right foot, tuck the toes under. Drag that foot up to meet the left foot. All right, come up to a forward fold. Bend in the hips. Head down toward the earth, arms hang heavy. Maybe they can come toward the earth, or maybe they can touch the earth. When you're ready, plant your hands, downward facing dog. Step your feet back, come into an inverted V shape. Feet are hip width distance, hands are shoulder width distance. Let's come into the balls of your feet. You're on the balls of your feet, your heels are lifted. Let your head hang heavy, shake it out. Arms, shoulder width distance, press into the earth. Think of your tailbone lifted higher to the sky. Start to pedal your heels toward the earth. One, then the other. Come high onto the ball of the foot. Then come high onto the ball of the other foot as you let the heel work toward the earth. Now, here's something a little different. Walk your feet a little bit closer to your body and a little further apart, more toward the edges of your mat. Walk them a little bit farther to the point where you can plant your heels. Hold it here. Foot is solidly down on your mat. Tailbone is still lifted. Take your right hand and reach around and capture your left ankle or calf. Bring the right hand back to the starting position. Left hand reaches around and captures the ankle or the calf of the opposite leg. So you're crossing the midline of your body, reaching the hand toward the opposite ankle, back and forth a couple times. Feet are down. Are they on fire? Are the calves on fire? Oh yeah. All right, let's finish. Hands back to your mat. Walk your feet back to that typical downward facing dog we do where your heels are slightly lifted. Now pedal them out. Breathe. Shake your neck. Keep your neck nice and loose. Walk your feet to meet your hands or your hands back to meet your feet. Sweep your arms up to the sides of your room. Come on up to a standing position. Lift your hands on up nice and high. Extended mountain. Root into your feet. Rock a little bit on your feet like how we started. Get rooted into the earth. Reach through your fingers. Half crescent moon. Palms touch. Bring your legs together as close as you like. Cross your thumb, one or the other. We tend to habitually do one over the other. So think about what you're doing. I'm going to put my right one on top of my left. Lengthen up, bringing my biceps near my ears. Then I'm going to do my half crescent moon to the left. Let the fingers and the arms and the whole body kind of make a moon shape by letting the fingers go toward the left side of the room. Chin away from the chest, right shoulder back. Chin away from the chest, breathe, weight equally rooted into the mat. Inhale, back up to center. Take a big inhale, lengthen up, switch your thumbs. I'm gonna put the left thumb on top. That feels really awkward to me, but just change it up. Biceps near the ears, lengthen up. Let your arms be long and let them float to the right side of your body. Hips and shoulders are equidistant to the front of the room. Top shoulder is back, chin away from the chest. Big stretch here, feel it all up the left side of your body. Left thumb on top. I always default to the right on top. Breathe, just little changes make a difference. Breathe, come back up to center. Lengthen up, big breath in, big sighing breath out. That's your half crescent moon variation today. Release your hands, bring your body into the shape of the letter Y. We're gonna do our little physical therapy pose called You Will Look Taller. First letter of each word, that's the shape your body is making. Legs are zipped up, so I look like the letter Y. All right, I'm gonna step back here. Arms are lifted, pressing the backs of the hands to the back of the room. You will look taller with this pose. Or you will look terrific. Or you will look, I don't know what's another good T word? You'll just look great with this pose because your posture is going to greatly improve. Pressing the backs of your hands to the back of the room, really feel it here. It's strengthening the upper back. Now bend your elbows. Let's bring them to the letter W. All right, so there's your kind of W shape, right? Squeeze the backs of the hands to the back of the room. I always say it over and over again because you want to squeeze. You want to feel the strength all up and down that spine. You want to be strong. Elbows are down. You will. 2 L's, forward and back, hug your elbows in towards your waist, squeeze, chest stays strong and lifted, and then T for terrific, T for taller. Pulse the backs of your hands to the back of the room, breathe, and you can do this up against a wall as well, and it is not easier, it is harder against the wall, because that wall seems so far back there. So there you go, you will look taller, let's do it again. Big letter Y, and while you do this, you know the motions. Just think of the strengthening up and down your spine. Feel it up and down the spine. W, L, T. Now let your hands float down by your sides. Think of how much taller you look. Think of the strengthening of the upper back, because think about it. So many of us are like this. We're texting all the time, right? Texting, head is down, your shoulders are rounded. Shoulders back, thanks to the You Will Look Taller pose, and your posture is much better. So important. Lets you function better, lets you breathe better. Good job. All right. Balancing is so important, especially as we get older. Don't think for a second that, I don't have to do anything, I can relax. You got to work harder the older you get. So you got to keep it. You got to keep it and maintain it and not lose it. All right, let's do one-legged mountain. All right, so what you want to do here, you can have a chair nearby. I'm going to lift my leg. I'm going to have my knee in line with my hip. I'm going to draw my toes forward so this thigh is parallel to the earth. I'm going to root into that foundational left leg. I'm going to lift my arms up high to the sky. Those hip flexors that we stretched while we surfed, feel them elongate here. Reach your fingers high. Now let your arms come down.
Interlace fingers, place them under the right knee. Hold it here. Hold it here, stay strong, you got this. Maybe circle your ankle, right and left. Let's take this one-legged mountain that we hugged in the knee. Let's open the knee to the side of the room, place the sole of the foot inside the foundational left leg. Wherever you want to put it, just don't put it on your knee as we come into tree. Hold it here, hands to prayer center, or arms lift and branches sway in your tree. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee back to the front of the room. Don't set it down. Lift the knee back up. Now take the outside of the right knee. We're going to come into a humble warrior. So bring the right leg into a figure four. Outside of the right knee comes onto the left thigh. Bend into your foundational left leg. Hands to prayer center. There's the humble part. Sit into this pose. Maybe take your hands. Here's where the focus comes. Really focus. Don't look at the TV. Bring your hands behind your low back. Big into interlacing the fingers today. Interlace them behind your low back. Your thumbs press into your low spine. Look down towards your left foot. Work your interlaced fingers with straight arms up the back wall or up to the ceiling. Look down to your left foot, your left knee. Hold it. And then finish. Hands float back to prayer center. Right foot meets left. Come back to standing. That was a lot of balancing. Excellent on you. Let's do it again. Arms reach up, extended mountain. Root into your feet, lengthen up. Root into your right foot, left knee bends. Open, lift the left knee, up, up, up. To your one-legged mountain. Thigh as parallel as you can get it to the earth. Toes drawn toward the shin. Root into your right foot. You're strong. Lengthen up. Hands to a prayer center. Take a breath here. You are brave. You are strong. You are smart. Hands interlace. Hug underneath the left knee. Elbows hugged in. Circle the ankle right. Circle the ankle left. Open up the knee to the side of the room. If you fall out, no big deal, get back in. Place the sole of the foot inside the foundational right leg. Just don't put it on the knee, wherever feels right for you today. Hands to prayer center, or maybe you got that chair. Grow your branches. Breathe, sway them. Hands back to prayer center. Let that leg come off, the left leg come off the right leg. Place the outside of the left ankle on the right thigh. Hinge forward in your figure four. Come into your humble warrior. Take it slowly. Breathe. Hold. Where does it feel really good? Maybe hands interlace behind your low back, or maybe you just send them back, kind of like a drinking bird. Interlace your fingers behind your low back, press your thumbs into your low back, and then lift your straightened arms away from your low back. Release your hands back to prayer center. Release the left foot to meet the right. Come back up to standing. Awesome work. Take a deep breath in, extend your arms high. Take a little baby back bend. Exhale, hands to prayer center for a moment of gratitude. And then fold forward and walk your hands forward. Let's come down to our mats. Come down to a seat. Send your legs long on your mat as we come to a seated position. Seated position. Legs are long. Arms go high. Exhale. Look at their flexible spines in those dogs. Hinge forward, reach forward, toes up toward the sky. Stretch out your low back, reach towards your ankles. Hug your elbows in. She's getting back at me now. Send your gaze down toward your knees. Come on up to a seated position. Find your block, your two blocks, and bring them by your hips. Put your eye shade and towel up near your shoulders. All right, so you got your two blocks down near your hips. Come into pentacle, a brief little recentering pose. We can't have the word center as our word of the day without coming into pentacle. Pentacle recenters the body. So you're lying on your back, spread your legs wide, bring your arms up overhead, and create a capital letter X shape in your body. Recenter, recalibrate, bring everything back to the midline and the center point, the focal point from which everything radiates. Isn't that a beautiful thought? Take a deep breath in.
And a deep breath out. You can stay here in your pentacle pose, or you can join me in a bridge pose. I'm going to bring my arms down by my sides. I'm going to bend my knees and bring my feet underneath my knees. And I'm going to press on up, sending my hips high to the sky. Arms down by my side. Wiggle the shoulders closer to the spine. Oh, I feel like I've really boosted my bridge here. Arms down by your sides. Lift here, hold here. Breathe. All right, so that's a bridge pose. You can stay here as you stretch the hip flexors, open up through the chest and the belly, or let's go back to the hip flexors and do both at the same time. That lunge did them individually. Let's do them together. Take your two blocks side by side in a stable position. So you're creating a big surface down there, and then rest your bottom on it. Oh, that feels good. Send your legs long. Here's where you feel it in the hip flexors. Breathe here, arms down by your sides. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Let it go. Hip flexors are loving it. You can stay here. I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to windshield wiper my legs. I'm going to push the weight into my feet. Remove my pontoon blocks. Stay in pontoon if you want. Lower the spine down, one vertebra at a time. All right, knees stay together. Feet kind of stay together. Arms tee out. Let your knees together fall to one side. Then let them fall to the other, together. As your knees fall to one side, look to the opposite side. And just back and forth. Nice little low back massage. Feels pretty good, right? So look in the opposite direction of which your knees are falling. There's your windshield wipering. All right. Finish. Come back to your natural bridge-like position. Hug your left knee toward your left elbow. Hug your right knee toward your right elbow, and continue to rock here. So now you got the knees separated as we come into our happy baby pose. Ananda Balasana, nice name. All right, so happy baby really suits this pose, right? So are you rocking and enjoying this feel right back on your low back? Sometimes it feels good to put a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball under there. Sometimes we've done that. We haven't done that lately. Maybe we'll do it again soon. Let me know in our group, Friends of 316 Yoga on Facebook, if you want to incorporate the balls and the resistance bands again. We can do that. All right, come back to the midline of your body. Hug your knees towards your armpits. Maybe take your hands inside your calves and then pull the knees closer to the armpits. Maybe you reach lower and capture your heels. Shoulders come back down, then one leg goes up to the sky and the other leg bends, and then alternate. Happy baby pose. You can do this. The first time it's a little awkward, but then once the legs get moving, pretty good, huh? All right. When you're ready, let's finish up. Send your legs high to the sky. Open up your legs like a wide-legged forward fold. Remember how we did that little different variation warming up? Open up your legs to like a big letter V. I know, not real attractive, but place your hands on your inner thighs, spread your legs wide, and then send your ankles back to meet at the midline of your body. Your core is strong. Continue to keep it strong. Start to lower your heels down. You really become aware of your tailbone here. Lower, 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 lower. There you go. You got it. Hold it just an inch or so above the ground. Think Pilates hundreds. We'll do those on Friday. Come back on Friday as we combine Pilates, bar, weights, and yoga. It's all good. Heels come down. Let's do final Shavasana now, but let's do it a little differently. Let's do it in a fish-like pose. Okay, so use your two blocks if you have them. If you don't have them, come into a classic final Shavasana pose. I'm gonna place the one block horizontally at the top of my mat. I'm gonna place the other block vertically about neck length distance apart. I'm going to come to recline on this first block. I'm gonna recline so this block is between my shoulders. The other block is a pillow for my head. Nice, easy, gentle, a little fish here, not a whole lot of curve here going on. Legs long and feet spread a little bit on your mat. Your bottom is planted. This is a gentle pose here, just a little opening of the chest. And if you don't have blocks yet, you could use a towel and roll it up and place it under your spine. Let your head hang back, chin up toward the sky. Shoulders away from your ears. Palms face up. Take a deep breath in and a deep sigh. sighing breath out. Let it go. All right, your pinky toes, let them fall closer to the earth as you externally rotate your hips a little bit. Maybe sigh it out. Soften in your forehead and the area between your eyebrows. Let your eyes be heavy in your eye sockets. Even think of your ears as coming back more towards your mat. Unclench your jaws if your teeth are touching. Breathe deeply and just appreciate how strong you are in your chest, how open your chest is now, how deeply you can breathe. Breathe deeply, don't breathe shallowly. Big breath in and big breath out. Few more big breaths here. And here's an idea for today or for your future practice. Have your remote control nearby, like, keep it with your eye shade. If you'd like to stay longer in your final Shavasana pose, hit pause on your remote. It allows you to stay as long as you like in this pose. A great pose to transition back into the world in, making you stronger, smarter, and braver to enter back into the crazy world. And when you're ready to finish your practice, you can unpause the remote, take a deep breath in, and a sighing breath out. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, then your wrists and your ankles, circle them about. Inhale, reach high up overhead. Feels super great if you're on this block. Stretch it out like it's your first good morning stretch before you get out of bed. Then bend your knees and roll onto one side or the other. Just roll off the blocks. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out, letting all the cares of the world go. And when you're ready, slowly either press or float up, up, up to a seated position. I'm going to crisscross my legs as we say our goodbyes. Bring your hands to prayer center for that last little moment of gratitude on your mat. Take a deep breath in, lengthen up. And a deep breath out, soften up. Gently blink your eyes open. You did it. Good job. I'm impressed with what you did, whatever you did. Awesome. Every little bit of yoga is good. Believe that, truly. Just come back, show up, do your yoga, and you'll feel so much better for it. All right, took a stress number in the beginning. What was it? And now what is it? All right, you're brave. You showed up to do your yoga. You're strong. You're stronger because you did it. And you're smart to take care of yourself. Thank you for letting me join you on your mat. See you tomorrow. Be here. All right, love you guys. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Hello, Piper. How do you know when it's time to get up here, huh? Just how do you know, you silly girl? Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow. Have a great day. You are
You're
silly.
still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.